The Bad Batch Episode 4, Faster. With Hunter and Echo off on a side quest elsewhere, this episode instead features more so on Omega, Wrecker of the Batch, but with surprisingly the main focus really being on Tech, believe it or not. As the three agree to accompany Sid to a desert planet called Safa Toma, known for its seedy reputation and its thriving industry of riot racing, which for the most part is pretty much pod racing but slower, with droid pilots, smaller land speeders equipped with weapons, and essentially where anything goes. And no, really, anything literally goes. Even spectators randomly getting shot and killed during the races is simply hand-waved as a casual occurrence here. Yeah, that's riot racing for ya. Sid bets on a race of a local Duatin gangster named Grinny Milegi, a once former associate of hers. Confident that she can beat him because of her own riot racer, Teo, which to Tech's surprise turns out to be a droid, and not just any droid, but one with quite the personality. Actually, make that a split personality, who's also quite talkative and, well, cocky too. But despite all of this, Teo ends up unexpectedly losing the race due to Milegi's racers playing dirty, resulting in Sid owing a large sum of credits to the gangster. Unable to pay, Sid finds herself in big trouble, and before things get really ugly, Omega quickly proposes another race for Sid's freedom, with the caveat being that she needs to pay double if, however, Milegi wins. And believing his chances of winning are almost guaranteed, then Milegi agrees and takes Sid as hostage for the time being. With Teo out of commission, Tech steps up to race in the droid's place, and much to everyone's surprise, yeah, he ends up outsmarting the whole competition and winning the race simply based on his strategy of focusing on defense and maneuverability. Milegi afterwards agrees to let Sid go, as a deal is a deal. He then commends the batch for their loyalty, but ends up warning them to watch their backs, as he claims that Sid cannot be trusted. Shocker, I know. Overall, this was a rather small, I suppose, lighthearted adventure of the week episode with a decent side of filler, as the only real thing to have resulted from this is that now Sid owes Tech for saving her life. And I suppose the hint right at the end there at Sid's possible betrayal, which I'm not fully convinced yet could happen. And even then, it's not like this is exactly new information, as Sid did before tell Hunter, in her own way of course, to not trust her. So yeah, this did seem kind of tacked on here just for the sake of it, but with that all said, I did oddly end up having a lot of fun watching this, which I really didn't expect. Then again, thinking back to one of my all-time favorite episodes from Resistance was the Vox Vortex 5000, which was also a fun and goofy yet dangerous space race episode from Season 2. So, well, I guess I can't really say I should be all too surprised that I enjoyed this one as much as I did. Ernie Hudson as Milegi was great, Ben Schwartz as Teo was hilarious and definitely one of the best parts of the episode. But for me, seeing more character development from Tech was key, and him being in the spotlight in such a cool and exhilarating way was awesome. Not really the way I envisioned an episode all around Tech would look like, but I'm not complaining. Also, I really dig the idea of riot racing, as while at first it did seem, a bit of a copycat of pod racing, I did end up changing my mind on it after seeing more of it and how, let's say, unique it is. I mean, for starters, you got droid racers here, no matter if they're protocol droids or even BX series droid commandos. There's droid equality in riot racing, unlike the likes of pod racing. If anything, because of the whole ride racing focus, this episode really felt like the Star Wars equivalent of the 2008 Jason Statham movie Death Race. Which, if you found yourself really liking this episode, then I highly recommend checking that movie out, as it's almost, for the most part, the exact same thing. Well, the racing that is. But yeah, sometimes it's nice getting these types of smaller episodes that don't really have anything to do with the military aspect of the show, nor really moving the plot forward, but in turn is more centered on world building and just having fun. And well, for an animated show like Bad Batch, yeah, it works. And that was my take on this episode of The Bad Batch. Let me know what you all thought about the episode in the comments down below, and if you haven't already, remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one.